here it says use the given graph to evaluate the following expressions. So here are your expressions from A to D, and then here's the graph that we want to be able to use. So let's take a look at this here. So here is our question and here's our graph. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find f plus g of 2. Now the important thing here is to write out the definition. The definition meaning what does this mean when it says that? Well, we can see that the input is 2 and we have the graph of f and the graph of g. So let's just take a look at that with a highlighted situation here. So you can see here that the blue graph represents f of x. And then we can see that the purple graph represents g of x. So now let's go ahead and write this out. So we have f, we'll do this simply. So we have f of 2 plus g of 2. So we need to figure out what does that equal. So that means we need to find the output. So when x is 2 on the function f, so if x is 2, then what is the output? Well, the output is 4. So that means that the answer is 4 here for f of 2. Plus g of 2, which means when g is 2, right, or x is 2, and you can see here that it's at the same point, which also gives us 2 and then 4. So therefore, that's also equal to 4. So what is 4 plus 4? Well, that's going to equal 8. So let's go ahead and put that answer in here. And there's our answer. Now let's take a look at f minus g of 1. So I'm just going to use now here, we want to find f of 1 minus g of 1. Okay, so that means at 1, when x is 1, what is the value on the blue graph? Well, that's 1 as well. So it's 1 comma 1. So we know that's 1 minus g of 1, okay, which means we need to go further, and that's this point right here, and that is 1 and then 3. So the output is 3. So 1 minus 3 is going to give us negative 2. Let's go ahead and put our answer, negative 2, and there's our answer. Now let's find c, where it's f of 0 times g of 0. So that means we're going to take f of 0, and then we're going to multiply that by g of 0. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So at 0, on the blue graph, it's 0, 0, so the output is 0, times 0, and then 2 is the point on g of x, so it's 0 times 2, which is equal to 0. So therefore, the answer here is 0. Now let's try the last one. So we have the definition f of 1 divided by g of 1. So at 1, we know f of 1 on the graph of the blue graph, the output is 1 since we found that in step B. And then we also know that g of 1 gave us 3. So therefore it's 1/3. Let's go ahead and put our answer in there. So we have our fraction. We have 1 and then 3. Let's check our answer. It's 1/3, and there is our result.